From Taiwan's roots to Canada's embrace, Annie shines on stage with a fearless grace. Dancing with Gaga, she took the lead and found her way to Schitt's Creek. In every role, her passion's clear. From Grease to Hazel's joyful cheer, her story's a dance, bold and bright. Addie Chen, star in her own right.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. If you couldn't tell by the intro, we're here with Annie Chen, who has done a lot of things. She is Liann on Lego Friends. She plays the voice of Hazel and Chip on Polly Pocket, and she's even been on Schitt's Creek, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. But before you did voice acting and acting, you were a dancer, and some of that had to change. We're going to get into that, but before we get all deep and heavy and into this story, I want to know, how are you doing today, Annie?
Hi, I'm great. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you can make it. I think the more I looked into you, the more I know I wanted to talk with you, and I'm glad you can make time for us and be here today because I don't know, I'm fascinated by your story. But before we really dive into that part, I'm just curious. Who were you as a kid? Would you say you're more of a wild one, the nerd, a good kid?
I was a good kid at home because I had very strict parents. Um, and there would be consequences if I didn't obey.
Okay,
So I
okay.
was a very good kid at home. I would say in school, probably, even up until high school, I was pretty good kid. I'd say, I didn't really talk too much in class. I made sure I did my homework. Um, I did end up sleeping a lot in one class in high school, but that's because it was so early. I'm not a morning person, and yeah,
Mornings suck.
yeah,
It should be
mornings.
illegal.
Thank you. Right? Oh my
The
gosh.
night
So
is the
yeah,
time to be creative.
right. So
I'm
and
a night guy.
I
Yeah.
yeah, so the morning classes were really hard, and my other morning class, PS, was calculus. Who takes
Oh,
calculus at, like, 8:30 AM? That is should be illegal. But
it's
my
it's child
calculus teacher.
punishment. It's
Yeah,
it's just
right?
it's not
I
cool.
signed myself up for it, to be fair.
Oh, all right. So it's on you.
Yeah, kind of. I digress from your question. I would say, like, a combination of a nerdy, um, good slash just kind of quirky and weird kid.
Okay, but you were a dance major even in high school, right? Like yeah, that was your
Yeah,
focus. When did you
yeah.
first discover your love of dancing?
Um, I think I was 5 years old, or maybe 6, I can't remember, but my mom wanted me to, study piano because all Asian kids either do it violin, piano, or the flute. So
You got lucky.
so yeah, I got the piano, so but I'd be playing piano and I just, like, could not sit still, like, my bum would just be moving, 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 and my mom's like, "Hey, maybe we need to put her in something more active because she has tons of energy." I would get zoomies. That's another kid I was like. I would get
Okay,
zoomies where I would run back and forth in the house, and sometimes I'd be climbing the walls, like, literally climbing the walls.
I climb my walls.
Nice, yeah, it's fun. And you scare people from out there when they walk under you.
Yeah, if you had a hallway that would let you do the foot spread and get up on there, like it was amazing what you
Yeah.
could do to people when they weren't expecting it.
Yeah, yeah, so that's what I did. I also love doing pranks. That's the other kind of kid I was like. But yeah,
Okay.
so my mom put me into dance class and I just kind of picked it up really naturally and I just kind of thrived in that. I did take a this was all in Taiwan, PS. That's where I'm born.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I took classes there, but when we immigrated to Canada, BC, Delta, I stopped for a little bit and then picked it up again when I was probably around 12, I wanna say.
Okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
you knew what you liked when you were younger, and your parents they got you there. You got that
Yeah.
break, and you knew you wanted to go back. That's like if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's true. It's really love.
Yeah.
You came back to dance.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this is for me. That's
Yeah.
is you got to make not an adult, but like more of an informed decision at that age instead of they give me something to keep me busy. It's like I really did like that, and I
Mhm.
think that's the stuff that sticks. I remember a few things like that in my life, but I do have a question that came from my producers here. They want to know what your favorite prank was. I think it was Zaz
Oh,
who asked that.
man.
So
Well, my favorite prank, and my sister and I have an older sister, we would do this to each other, was whenever one of us fell asleep, we'd take out a marker or a lipstick. It's always erasable. It was never permanent. We weren't, weren't that ruthless, but we would write stupid while they were sleeping and just draw like whiskers on their faces.
so you and your sister fought a lot, did you?
No, actually. I mean, yeah, when we were younger, but like this was kind of like our thing we did. We thought it was hilarious. I remember writing stupid on her face and I couldn't stop laughing. I had to hold one in my hand so that I could keep it straight.
How did you ever sleep at night? Like just like it's coming back.
Yeah, don't fall asleep in the house.
No way. I was the youngest of 5, so I was the recipient of most every bad thing that ever happened in that house.
Oh, yeah.
I was the bottom of the pile. Like even my sister would get in and start bashing me around. Uh, and she's my
That's awful.
yeah. Well, it was the 70s. It was a different time. I do have a question. About the soundtrack of your life. So as you were dancing from a 5 on up, every couple years you'd have a favorite song. Can you list some of those favorite songs all the way up till now? Like, what would you constantly dance to then, or did you love as you moved on? I'm wondering if this will inform my idea of what your style is.
Okay. I'm terrible with song names and artist names, but what I do remember, I was obsessed with the Spice Girls, like every child was, like obsessed. I had T-shirts, I had cards, I had pencils, I had everything. Um, and I really loved Spice Up Your Life
Okay.
and Stop. But stop right now. Thank you very much. I knew the dance. Um, and then I was obsessed at the same time, I was obsessed with Britney Spears and Christina. I was more team Christina. Those were kinda always those 2 were kind of
Christina grew
yeah.
up near Pittsburgh, and I have nothing
No.
but respect for her, even outside of music. She has gone above and beyond to take care of her community after she hit it big. And Christina Aguilera, love her on almost
Aw,
every level. Yeah,
that's amazing. What
and
are
her
some
in
of the things you're
burlesque,
Yeah, oh my
her and
gosh,
Cher.
yes.
Come on.
Yes! Also her and Moulin Rouge,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
song, I
But
love that song.
I also have a lot of respect for Britney, and it's one of those things where like I just want the best for her. Like like one of those things like she gave the world a lot, and I want the best for her now, like in the adult years. But like when we were young, she has a song I can't remember off the top of my head. It was just the best. So when she had these things that like you felt, I thought she
Mhm.
worked really well on that level too. But back to your soundtrack. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good, it's all good, and I just honestly, I have a soft spot for musical theater, so I loved back when Disney Little Mermaid is one of my favorite, and so they had actual, the songs. Now they still do, but it's more like a soundtrack rather than the characters break out into song, which is kind of more traditional musical theater
Right.
style.
Yep.
So I love that, and I really loved, Usher. Ooh, Usher.
Oh, okay.
He
Usher.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. Yeah, of
You're
course.
like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Usher,
yes.
yeah, his did he just do the Super Bowl? Did he just perform at the Super Bowl?
I
Was
don't
that
know. I didn't.
Usher?
I was nowhere near a TV at that time. I was deep in
That's
the world.
fine. I think it was Usher, and he killed it. He was excellent. And I
I'll
loved
say yes.
Rihanna.
Yes, Usher
Yeah.
did do the Super Bowl, yeah.
Thank you, Zaz.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks. Rihanna. Yeah. Nowadays, I really love, um Oh. The Motown. There's a Motown sound. Oh my God. And there's
John
like
Denver.
4. No. This is gonna drive me nuts. What is the song called? Am I taking too long to answer this?
No.
Do you wanna
In fact, that
Okay.
happens to me a lot. I like the music, I like the words, but then the name of the song is something I never see. It's just I know the song.
I got it. Motown Philly, Boys to Men.
Boys to Men,
Okay.
yeah. As soon as you said
Yeah.
Motown, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure because there's a lot of songs with Motown in the title, but yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah. So
Nice.
there you go.
And so now I'm trying to think. I've seen videos of you dancing. I know a little bit of your style. I saw your sizzle reel. You are
Okay.
a very strong and passionate dancer, from what I can see. I know nothing about dance, but I'm like,
Thank you.
you looked like what I saw in that video was you just came in and owned it. Like you were
Thank
very
you.
present and aware and grounded on that stage, sort of thing. That's what I felt as soon as I saw you. I don't know if those are compliments even to a dancer,
Oh
but
no,
like,
yeah.
all right,
Those are
cool, yeah.
great. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so your mom, did your parents support you throughout your whole as you're moving dance professionally? Were they like, yes, you
Mm.
need to do this, this is you've put in the work, or was it more of like you should also get a degree in accounting?
You're good. You know the trend. Doctor, engineer, accountant.
I
Oh,
didn't want to
lawyer.
necessarily
Forgot
go
the
there,
lawyer.
but
Forgot
lawyer,
the
yeah.
lawyer. Yes. Good question. My mom was the one that pushed me into dance. She was the one that's like, "Hey, why don't you try taking classes again? This might be good for you. You're really good at it. You're such a good dancer." So she gave me a lot of encouragement there.
It's
Would I
awesome.
say yeah, no, I'm really grateful for that because dance kind of opened up all these other doors for me and really was my first love and like connected me to so many great opportunities as well. But I would say that once I started to do it professionally, I think that's where the support kind of fizzled off. And you'll hear this story I think from a lot of I'm just gonna speak for my own culture, like Asian
Sure.
culture. You'll probably hear a lot of those kind of stories, just because it's really an unstable career path, right? Like, and to be a dancer or an actor,
You
like,
never
what
know
is
your
that?
next paycheck, your next job. You know your
Yeah,
job's ending is the other thing. You never know what the next one is. Actor,
yeah,
dancer, whatever. It's tough. I could not do it.
mhm,
I don't have the fortitude. I can't handle rejection like that. You people who
mhm.
do that work always impress me because you have
Thank
to
you.
really have that extra belief in yourself or something to push through, I think. So
Yeah, yeah. My parents definitely didn't really support, but it wasn't from a place of, ill intent or
negativity.
anything. No, it wasn't that. It
Yeah,
was
it was
more
just
so
worry.
they were immigrants. They were immigrants themselves. Like I'm first gen, so I actually English is my second language. Mandarin's my first language. Um,
Are you still as good at Mandarin? I'm curious. I'm going off script here.
oh no, oh totally okay. It's fine. It's fine. Mandarin, I'm terrible. I'm
Okay.
okay. When I go back to Taiwan, it comes back, it flows back, and then I find that I catch on
Okay.
better.
Situational.
Yeah, and I definitely, it's quick for me to pick it back up. But I do think in English, when I speak to my parents, it can sound a little broken just because I swap in, words
The
here and
English
there
word, you
that I,
know, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but like yeah, Mandarin was my first language. My parents were both immigrants, and they had a hard time, as with many immigrant stories, of
Sure.
starting a new life in a new country. They actually lost a lot of money by I think it might have been a scam with an immigration lawyer or something like that. I,
I've
I
heard of
can't
many,
remember
yeah.
the yeah, I think they did. And so, it makes sense that they would be worried for me that I'm going to now choose a career as an actor.
I get it. Yeah, like, hey, it took us a lot to get this far, and you want to gamble on having a not real job, in
Yeah,
their minds, especially I don't
yeah.
know. It had to be tough, and I don't think it's ever from a negative place when it. I mean, I'm sure it happens to some people. They have a very negative, like if you do this, you're dead to me. But I think most parents are just worried, like that.
Yeah.
Like we want to make sure you have a good life, and And I did want to ask this: the hours of a starting dancer, like I'm assuming you're out very late. You at least have to socialize. You have to. You're there early to do all the casting calls and practice and warm up and do all the things you have to do. But you're also late because, well, especially if you get a gig, you're on set or you're on stage for 12, 16 hours sometimes. Like that sort of worry and wear. Like, well, you didn't call me back at 2 a.m. until 2 a.m. Like I was working. Like doing what? My parents would not have understood a job that you had to stay until 2 a.m.
Yeah. So definitely the hours were very grueling. And I think this is the case for, any form of, artistic discipline. I've experienced that as an actor as well. I've experienced that as, musical theater performer as well, which, I don't know why I gave them a separate category. They're also actors, but I just meant like even like as a singer as well.
Expected workloads, really.
So when I was in school, I would train from I think my classes started at 8:30 sharp, 8:30 a.m. sharp. So you had to get there early to warm up. And then I would finish class at around 3 or 3:30, I can't remember. And then I would go home, eat, and pretty much kind of get ready for my nightly training, which this is like totally stereotypical of one of those like step up movies. I would go to literally a garage where this like underground hip hop scene was happening. And I would go train there with these like OGs that dance with Luther Brown, who is a huge choreographer, and So You Think You Can Dance, and these are like kind of his disciples. And so I would go train with them in literally a garage, and I'd be there from until probably I wouldn't get home probably till like 12:30.
Right.
And then I'd go back and train.
Do it all over again.
And that wasn't something I could really keep up because I'd be getting home at 12:30 and just pumped with adrenaline. So I wouldn't go to bed till like 3 a.m. and then I have to be at school for 8 a.m. Like it just was not sustainable. But I did do it for a little bit, for a while here and there, and just try to sustain those both worlds because I went to school for modern dance, but I loved street dancing. I loved commercial dancing, like, hip hop choreography. I wouldn't call myself like a full on hip hop dancer because I never battled or anything, but I definitely did do choreography, like music video choreography. And I just love that scene. Like I love watching people battle. It's so incredible. And so that was definitely a really, really long hours. There was a lot on my body.
And that's where I wanted to go next with this. So at some point your body broke and you needed surgery. And I've read some of the story, but can you walk us through wherever you're comfortable, what happened and what that surgery was? Like just I don't want to say anything that I do know because I usually get stuff wrong. So what went wrong and when?
Okay, so I've always had lots of injuries here and there. That's just kind of what you deal with when you're basically an athlete, training as an athlete.
Yeah.
And so but it all went wrong in 2019.